welcome back. Hope everyone's having a blessed day. Last day and a half, I've been doing some work behind the scenes, as you guys can see. I took off the brake booster, the clutch cylinder, or the clutch master cylinder. I took off the fuel filter that was here. There was a black box to help breathe the fuel tank and all that here too. This is the fuel feed line right here. There's some of the brake lines I took off from the valve. I'm gonna do a whole brake tuck on this car. That's why I ended up taking that out. I got some parts in my race car that I'm not going to use no more, so I'm gonna bring it over here. I got a brake tuck kit for that. I got a clutch master cylinder for that. So I'm gonna show you guys once I'm ready to put those parts on, how to go about that. Yesterday I semi-detailed the car. The car still, smelled and looked dirty and everything. So I went ahead, vacuumed it out, sprayed some degreaser, got some bucket of water, and just scrubbed the whole entire interior. It looks a lot better, smells better too. I still got to do maybe 2-3 more times. Like I said, this car has been sitting for a little while. A lot of mold, dirt, everything just accumulated inside the car. So my OCD is having me go through this car multiple times. But for today, my garage looks a little mess because I just bought a welder. I was trying to teach myself how to weld. This is a trade I always wanted to learn. I just never, made it, something for me to learn for some reason. I don't know why. But I got a welder, Harbor Freight, the plug. I just wanted to learn. Like I said, I was going to send my car to a friend of mine to weld on the bracket, but my friend is a little busy. My friend runs his own business. He's busy. I get it. I'm a little impatient, kind of, but I still always wanted to learn how to weld. So I took the opportunity just to say, you know what? I'm gonna just learn myself. I'm gonna teach myself, and here we are. So for the most part, I literally just started teaching myself how to weld. I've been watching videos all night, all day today. And they're not perfect, but for my first time, they're not too bad. I am still going to teach myself. I am just going to cut probably like another piece of the steel, place it on, and just learn a little bit more. So I see some gaps in between, but for the most part, like this thing is solid. It's super hot because I just finished doing it, but this is the first time around I did it. Like I said, for my first time, it's not too bad, but I still want to try as hard as I can to semi-master this trade. I want to learn welding so I don't have to depend or even pay a welder to come and weld anything, because welding gets expensive. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to weld the bracket for the transmission mount. So I'm gonna prep this whole area up. It looks like they tried to weld here before, covering up some holes, I guess. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grind all this down to bare metal, even it out. Same thing over here, look like they tried to weld over here. I don't know why. I guess there was holes here. So I'm going to grind, sand all this down, degrease everything, prep up this whole area for me to weld. Guys, so as y'all can see, sand it down, grind it down the whole area. It was a little hard. I'm trying to get it as even as I can because the welds is like literally like a mountain. But for the most part, it's pretty much smooth. I just gotta smooth out some more of this area, but where I think is going to get welded at pretty smooth. grind it down some of this area too, since it's gonna be welded onto here. I'm trying to make it as clean as possible. I just seen some more welds right here. I'm gonna have to grind down. I'm not gonna go too crazy with like grinding down the whole engine bay. Just the little imperfections, I wanted to try to even it out, put some like body filler on it to, you know, fill in the cracks and holes it has. This area got some more welds right here. Try to clean that up as much as possible. Then I'm going to clean out the whole engine bay and prep it up for paint. But for now, so in here is the bracket. So this is where I ordered it from. This is the part number. I know there's another brand that makes it. I forget who was the other brand that makes this, but found this like half the price on eBay. Literally the same part. I'll show you guys how the bracket looks. Hold on. All right. So this is how the bracket looks. So it's supposed to sit, it got a hole right here. It's supposed to sit like this. I gotta bolt that up so I can stay in place and then start the weld. So I got 2 holes in the middle right here. Start the welds right there just to hold it in place, and then weld literally around it. This bracket right here is supposed to get broken off. But I kind of like it for better reinforcement, so I might just weld literally right around it and on the side to just reinforce it at the bottom too. I'm not gonna go crazy horsepower, but you know, you never know later down the road if I want to do like 800 plus horsepower, at least get something nice and sturdy for the engine. So I'm gonna bolt this up and then we're gonna go from there. All right, so literally just 2 threads right here for 10 millimeters. So this is what's going to help you align it to where it needs to stay at so you can weld it. Just go ahead and make sure it's as tight as it can be. Yeah, it feels it's tight. And like I said, this is going to make it so it's playing it so while you're welding, it's not moving anywhere. I do have a level. I'm gonna find that right now. I just want to make sure it's as leveled as it can be. So when I put the engine and transmission in, it's not leaning or being super hard. It's a plus that it came with a new bolt right here. This is pretty cool. This is for the motor mount. That's pretty cool. It came with that, but I'm gonna go get my level it out, and grind this bracket down so I could get nice smooth welds. I'm gonna just weld it up real quick, do like 2 or 3 dot welds so I can just be in place, and then try my very best to have as much of a clean weld as I can. So yeah, let's get to it. All right guys, so it's not perfect, but you know, I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna try to get in here, get something in here to flush it as much as I can. I couldn't really see or know how to like really get the weld to go into a circle and pop out and hit every end of it, but for the most part it's good. Took the bolt off and I'm literally shaking it. It can flex up and down a little bit, not too crazy, but I'm literally trying to pull it off and the whole car is shaking. So I know the weld's connected to the chassis pretty well, so now I'm gonna just continue going from up here all the way around to right here and then work my way down. There is a big gap right here, like an inside, so I don't know how well that will go, but I'm gonna continue trying. I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna show you guys the finished product. Alright guys, so I just finished up. I tried my best as I can. It did get a little shaky on me. It was just a little hard for me to see and fill out this hole as much as I can, but this weld as much as I can to level it out, and then if I need to add some more welds, I will. But as me for learning, I don't think it's too bad. So if you guys are welders, just try not to chop me up too much. But on the angles, it was just a little hard for me to get the flow of it. I think I found my problem though, because I started getting a little bit better. But for the most part, pretty connected. It's not the prettiest, but as long as it's connected, I'm good. I'm gonna grind all this down to get it as smooth as possible. Look all right. I am gonna prep it for paint. But I'm gonna show you guys. I gotta put my gloves on because this is really hot, but I'm putting all my strength into it. I'm not going anywhere. Like I said, I'm gonna clean it all up as much as I can and then see where I need to add the welds at and try to add it. Like I said, I'm not going for too much power, but still I want this super sturdy and reliable as much as I can, just in case. But for the most part, they're pretty good. Harbor Freight welder, the titanium one, like $120 I spent on that welder. Not too bad. Overall, for my first ever legit weld, I don't think it's too bad, but you know, we'll see once we put the engine in there and start making power. Let's see how well this holds up. But yeah, so now, like I said, I'm gonna clean that up as much as I can, then take this outside, probably like another day, degrease the whole engine bay, scrub it all down, take out some more stuff that's here that I'm not gonna use, and primer and prep for paint. Literally took everything out. I vacuumed up all the dirt and screws and just debris. There was a lot of junk inside the wiper blade stuff. But yeah, for the most part, coming out pretty well. But yeah, I think that's gonna be all for this video, and hopefully next time I'll have the engine bay prepped, ready for paint, and then, you know, get it painted up and go from there. So thanks you guys for joining in today, and enjoy your day. Peace.